don't have to go really far, do they? I mean, not that anyone wants to watch the game.
Just let me know whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
It is next.
Alright, it is 7:25 and we'll call the meeting soon. 7:25, good evening everyone, we're gonna call the meeting to order. I am Lionel Gute, I'm the housing chair, and tonight
Okay, who's your boy?
we are, these are, would everyone like to introduce themselves, or, I mean, it is our last meeting, so you see these familiar faces, everyone? Last meeting of the fiscal year. Our next meeting will be in September 2026, but it is the last meeting 2020. Okay, so we have
Renee Showhite. Solange Benjamin.
Drew Johnston,
Diane Shepherd.
Anya Mears.
Chris LeBeau.
And we have our guest, who is Black, we need to call the meeting to order. Is he here to join? No? Yep, okay. So in a moment, we'll be joined by Larry Jason of Housing and Family
Yes.
Services of Greater New York.
Yes,
He'll be
yes,
on
yes.
the line, absolutely.
Yes.
And I am right on the, keep an eye on him.
Probably eye on him.
Yes, yeah.
Whenever someone joins or something.
Yes, someone's gonna join, and we just wanna keep it live.
Okay.
Ready to ask. So, oh, you felt that? So that it doesn't go dead since everyone will be able to see. In the meantime, before we get our guests on, just a cute one thing. Tomorrow night at the ULIP committee, there will be a presentation by 141 Montgomery Housing Project. They're gonna do an overview of their project. Their project is, it's supposed to be full, it's all, it's not for profit, basically, and everyone who's going to be in that, establishment, in that home, in that housing development will be, words. I'll come back to that in a moment. But tomorrow night, ULIP, if anyone can join ULIP tomorrow night, please do join them. They are going to have a presentation from HPD will be there, as well as the developers for 141 Montgomery.
So, I have Mr. Larry Jason. His daughter's not there to hook him up. So I wanna let him speak to you so you can find a way to hook him up via phone, like Zoom phone kind of thing.
Okay, let's see, by Zoom,
Could we talk to him through someone's phone? Like call him on speaker? There's normally a way if you pull up a Zoom call that's up there, you click the little button up the right corner and use your hands to call on speaker.
Mr. Jason?
It's Larry.
Okay.
hi Larry, we'll have you hooked up shortly.
First, I will absolutely apologize. I can complain. I can not complain. I can use a million different reasons. I didn't even have this on a schedule. Now that's not on anybody. If we're saying that this is supposed to happen now, like I say, that's on me. I've been in and out of the office for the last couple of weeks. So, but I'm here to do whatever I am able
You guys
to
can hear him, that's fine.
in whatever you are looking for. But again, my knowledge on a computer or on anything electronic is really mortifying.
No worries, we
I
need
can
the
go, I'm
knowledge.
really good at talking.
We're more interested in the things that you've experienced in the way that you can help the community, which technology right now is not our friend. So,
Oh, then you got your cake to the right side.
Yeah, we're more interested in what you know, not how you can use technology. So I'm gonna hook you up shortly so that the rest of the community, not just us in the office right now, can
That'll be fine.
Can hear what you're
can
saying.
hear what you're saying.
Since enhanced encryption is on there. I don't know if you can call it via cell phone to an enhanced encryption call, unfortunately.
So can he call in?
Not that I know of. Normally you can click the green icon in the top right. but
Right.
It says enhanced encryption and doesn't give a phone number in this case.
I see.
Um,
Is there a way that, is something could plug in so his voice could, you know,
The speaker?
yeah.
He's on speaker now.
I'm on speaker now.
Yeah.
We just gotta try our best to hear him.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna just try our that's me. But I have to turn off one of these because
I do hear everything you're saying if you're hearing what I'm saying.
one moment, because I think there's a,
Breathing okay? No?
I'm not able to hook them up because there's enhanced encryption.
Okay.
Is
Which
there,
phone is that? If the
Mine.
person has Bluetooth, you can hook it up to the speaker right here.
Apologies. We're getting it together.
Wait for me.
Sure. Settings.
Yeah. Can I go to Bluetooth? Second. Okay. Do you see JBL?
JBL, yes. Connect.
Yeah, let me just make sure it's in range.
Sorry that I made them earlier.
Okay, you can connect.
Can I hear? Keep quiet.
So put it on speaker.
Let me see, if you don't mind. He's not able to access Zoom at all.
daughter's not there, his daughter's the one that's, you know, literate.
Why don't we just talk to him via phone call and then he sends us the presentation after? That's an attachment. Because
Doesn't seem like this is working.
It's too slow.
Okay, so I think that that's a good idea. Larry, can you tell us about what your organization does? Who they are, who you are, and we will follow up with the meeting notes to the rest of the board.
Is there no way that they can hear me?
We can hear you in the room, but anyone online, can they hear us? They won't be able to hear us online.
Why have
Well, what would happen if I called into where you are? Would I be able to be with them?
It would be best if he could access the Zoom.
to do that?
If we were
Just he can access the Zoom.
if he
And
could, I
know
think
that
on
I'm
Zoom.
grasping at straws because I have no electronic knowledge.
Are you on a cell phone now?
Yes, but I can be on the landline because I'm in my house.
We can't do a landline
We
like that.
can't do a landline. Would you be able, if we sent you a link, to just press the link and
On your phone.
on your phone?
I could attempt that.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have to warn you, my skills are really not terrific. I
So
can try,
I can call,
absolutely do
I
that.
can call her home at the home number, have him just come to call. I'm
Cause
sorry?
you're basically saying he's not really a computer.
Yeah, I got that.
Just let him do the call.
Yeah, we could
You
try.
wanna
guys
call
can
my
hear him?
landline?
Yeah, I was just gonna call you on your landline to, walk you through. But, okay. What does the chair say?
Why don't you tell us about your organization, what they do, where they're located, and who you help at this time?
Okay. And I am talking to CD9.
Minor.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm Mina. I'm the housing chair of CB9.
Before anything else, I truly apologize. This just, you went right over my head, and I just didn't put it down somewhere. So I want you to know that I am absolutely, totally, able and willing to take full responsibility if this does not work.
It's working. We're
and-
working fine.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you could just tell us about the organization and how long you've been around, what you do for the community. And what we'll do is that maybe we'll just schedule a time for in our next fiscal year for you to join us in a Zoom. But if you could tell us more about the organization now, I think because people don't really know that much about the organization, including myself, and we just love to hear about that.
All right, then I'm more than willing to, right now I'm willing to spend as much time as you would like me to be on the phone for as long as we are from this moment, through tomorrow morning when I have to work.
Okay, alright. So,
Alright? So, I'm the Executive Director of Housing and Family Services of Greater New York. In a 2-minute history, we were founded in 1971 by who became State Senator Marty Markowitz, who represented Ward 9 for a long time. And I started with the organization 48 years ago. We are an organization that does a few things now. When I started, we worked helping tenants in apartment buildings where they were having problems with their landlord. That was basically our sole purpose. And we continue to do that today. We have a large presence of buildings in Community Ward 9. And we work with a tenant. If it's an individual tenant who says something as simple as, "Hi, we're not getting heat and hot, or I'm not getting heat and hot water in my building," to a building that calls up and says, "Hi, the landlord has just totally neglected the building entirely, and we need help." And we do both. We help individuals, and we help buildings. So we do this in hundreds and hundreds of buildings. As a byproduct of that, we also do an immense amount for senior citizens of rent-free programs. Senior citizen rent increase exemption or SPREE, which we probably do more of than almost anybody in the city. And that's for people who are 62 or over, who are rent-regulated, stabilized, or controlled, and whose income is under $50,000. And there is a magic formula that if the tenant's income fits into that flow, from the day they sign that application, their rent will never go up. If they are 62 at that age and live till 100, their rent will be the same as the day they sign that document at age 62. It is a spectacular program. I it's something that I have hung my hat on because I'm such a big believer in it, because it helps the population of our communities that need the most help, and that's usually seniors on a fixed income. So that's the rent freeze program. That's one of the things we do. We will go into a building if the building is having building-wide problems. Tenants will call up and say, the front door has been broken for a year, we don't get proper hot water, the roof is leaking, repairs aren't being done. We will go into a building where the tenants would like us to have a meeting. I would like to say, sometimes we organize tenants, but I'm almost obnoxious enough to say that if we walk into a building and the building needs help, 9 out of 10 times they're going to wind up as a building that works with us. And then it's our job to try and get the landlord to do what he is legally required to do to make that building and bring that building up to code. We do talk about safety programs. I do, I don't want to call them lectures because they're not really lectures. I do programs in senior centers throughout Ward 9, Ward 8, Ward 17, Ward 14, Ward 15, to literally all the senior centers to talk to the seniors about possibly freezing the rent, about what their rights are, and if it's an apartment building, we can help them. If somebody gets a court notice that they haven't paid their rent, we're not going to forward them because we are not attorneys. But we are certainly going to give them the correct information on what they have to do to at least be able to be heard, understood in housing court. So we do an awful lot when it comes to that. Again, we do safety presentations at a variety of different places, and we do a lot of programs that assist residents throughout the borough. And we usually don't turn people away from wherever they come. We've had people as far as the Bronx come in, and if they've fit or met the qualifications, then we were able to assist them in paperwork to get whatever the program is that they needed. We also go, like I said, we go to senior centers and schools and talk about housing and safety. We like a lot of Ward 9, a lot of Ward 8, and if I were gonna sum up what we've done over the last, since 1971, that's about it. We're really good at what we do. We work very hard to be good at what we do. We are willing to work. I should say I am willing to go out on a Saturday, on a Sunday, if I'm able to talk to tenants wherever they are. I don't have an issue with a 9-to-5 job. I haven't for the last half century. Well, I think we're great. I really think we're great. I'll use the word obnoxious enough to say that. People who work for us believe in what we do, who we are, and there is a dedication for the people who work for us to help people.
Are you staffed by volunteers, or do you have a staff, a paid staff?
I would say thank goodness I have a staff, and we don't really, the volunteers really, as far as I'm concerned, are the tenants in the building who are volunteering to, and I can use any one of the Evansfield buildings as an example. Because like I said, I think I've been in and out of all 7 of those buildings half my life. We will go in, we will flyer a building, whether it's a 4-story walk-up or an Evansfield side building. The flyer will say in 4 or 5 days, we're going to have a meeting in the lobby. Usually the meetings are held at 6:45. That's usually, sometimes to the chagrin of my daughter. I will say that I've done weekend meetings, if that's really, really needed. If something is an emergency, we do everything to bend over backwards to try to make that work at a time that works for the tenants. Does that happen all the time? I'm sure it's failed at some point, but 9 out of 10 times, if tenants need us, then that works. And I've had occasions where, as unskilled as I am, when I'm in the office and doing something like this on a Saturday, I will always make sure that in my office, I have somebody who knows how to turn my computer on and off so that I'm not going to get disconnected. That's not bragging about myself either.
No worries.
So I'm not ashamed to give you my downfalls because I really absolutely believe that what we do has a much greater upside.
Understood. Do you help tenants get in contact with other agencies, or do they just work with your agency?
Oh no! But there are tenants who we may not be. So if a tenant has a problem where the ceiling is coming down, all right, we will try to hook them up with HPD, EHR, but we're gonna try to be there with them, along the way. We try not to throw people to the wolves. It's always better in a building. If you have a building with 50 families, just to pick a random number, the landlord is going to be more willing to assist if you're working with 30 people rather than if you're working with 2. Because if you're working with 2, 48 others are probably paying rent.
Okay.
If you're working with the majority of the tenants, then you're working with people who, if they decide to take an action because the landlord, for lack of a better term, is being a jerk, then the consequences for him are financial, and most landlords are not looking for that. And it's not that we're so much adversarial. Bizarrely, if you're taking Evansfield, for example, listen, I can go into Evansfield, all 7 buildings, and find violation after violation. But that depends on a couple of things. My ceiling's cracking and peeling in my apartment. Well, I may have told the super a month ago, nothing's happened, so I'm now frustrated and saying, boy, they do nothing. Well, if 2 weeks or a week, if nothing's been happening, then I'm calling the landlord. And after that, if a couple of days go by and the landlord hasn't sent somebody up to repair, to look, then I'm probably calling the city in. Part of that issue becomes, so I have a leak from my ceiling, but I have a leak from my ceiling not because of me, but because I'm in apartment 60 and the tenant in 70 is just lackadaisical, ignorant, not caring, and leaves his water running all the time. So it's going from 6 to 5 to 4. Landlords don't want that. That's like destroying the whole line in the building, because it's gonna seep down. You know, their job is to try and nip it in the bud. Are all landlords great? Absolutely not. Are all landlords terrible? Absolutely not. That's very odd for a tenant advocate to say, but when you're dealing with guys as long as we are, as long as I am, believe me, I can tell you the good from the bad, just based on the buildings that I'm in. If you're good in one building, you're probably going to be good in most of them. If you're bad in one building, you're probably going to be bad in most of them.
I understand.
So tenants have a lot of different options to get services into their building. But the most important thing, and I will say this till the day I die, is organizing. Because if I'm holding my rent in a 50-unit building, and 49 other people are paying, landlord can give a damn about my rent.
Excuse me. Okay. So,
If 30 people are holding the rent, or 30 people are filing a rent reduction, it's gonna hit him the only place it hurts is one.
A couple of questions.
What we do,
Do you get abatements?
if a building, I don't, again, this is now, I don't wanna say my policy, I will say, though, again, and it may be that I'm the enigma, and if I sound like I think I'm special, I'm really not. But it's, to me, a large part of what we do is knowing the landlord, knowing the building, and possibly even knowing the tenant. You know, you have to know if a landlord just doesn't care, and if the landlord says, yeah, my building is perfect and there's plenty of heat, and as he's saying that, you're walking through the building and you need to have gloves and a hat on because you're freezing, then that building's not warm. If you're knocking on doors and you're opening the door and you're seeing ceilings collapsing in apartment after apartment, well, that may not mean the landlord's terrible. It may mean that the tenant either A, told the superintendent, and he never told the landlord to do something, or B, that the tenant said, oh, you know, it's just a crack in the wall or a hole in the wall. I don't care. I don't want to be bothered. I go to work from 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and I'm not staying home for a repair. And repairs are done Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
Oh.
So if the tenant says I can't take off from work, I can't have somebody in my house, then it's going to be hard pressed for that tenant to get a repair done.
Okay.
And if the landlord can show he's trying to gain access, and then the tenant won't allow it, that becomes another issue for the tenant. So good and bad in everything. Good and bad in everything. The only thing is, if it's a bad tenant, it affects maybe one tenant, two tenants, or maybe a couple of people in this line. Bad landlord affects everybody in the building.
Understood. Do you go to court with the tenants?
I maybe 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would say yes. These days, I don't really go to court much anymore. But if the tenant needs legal assistance, we will guide them to legal aid, legal services. If a tenant, and I hate to use this term, but I'm going to use it, feels that they can afford an attorney, then we will recommend attorneys to them. We get nothing back from anybody we ever have recommended, or I certainly haven't in a half a century, not a penny. But I try to put, if a tenant says to me, I need an attorney because I have a special kind of case, I'll say to them, I'm giving you 3 names, 3 people who, if I had to go to court, I would use any of these 3. You have to decide which one of them you want, or find your own person. I will never point anybody in one direction. I never have, never will.
Okay, one more
Ask
question.
away.
One more question from Louise.
Hi Larry,
I believe
how are you?
I'm
Now,
really disappointed that I didn't remember this.
don't be, but you have so many services that you have offered. My building, for one, had received abatements because of your services.
Watch this. Which building you in, police?
941, you got 941 and you got 921.
I love those buildings.
Okay, on, that's on Washington. Okay.
Washington.
Right. So, I'm just naming two, but you have gotten abatements for these two buildings, okay?
Yes. And again, if a landlord chooses not to do work, then we will do everything we can to assist our tenants. And we will do everything we can to make the landlord's life miserable. Again, I'd like to believe that we've been around long enough, and I will even use Evansfield as the example, and I'm comfortable using it. And I'm sure there are a million violations and a million reasons why things don't happen and repairs don't get done in Evansfield. I'm honest enough to say many of them are the landlord's fault. But if I have a hole in my ceiling and the landlord says to me on a Monday, if I report it to the landlord on a Monday and he says, okay, the plumber can be there Wednesday or Thursday, but I need somebody in the house, and you say I can't have anybody come on a weekend, that repair's not going to get done. It really is a two-way street. Tenants and landlords, if they are not coordinated together, that building is going to be a failure no matter what either side wants. It's only when landlords and tenants work together to make the building better that building gets better. And I'm a very strong believer in that.
So I will conclude by saying that how we met and how things worked for us was that Hector and I was the captain of our building, and we got people together to hear all of the issues and problems, and that made it one force, okay? And that was the way, and that was how we were able to get abatements. We were able to get fixtures. We were able to get the attention from the owner of the building. So we were the free help, if I should say, along with the other buildings that had captains that would go to each apartment and find out the issues and problems. So it made your job easier. Okay?
And again, what I'm finding these days is, although because I am so, and I'm going to use a terrible word, illiterate on anything electronic, and I'm not proud to say that, but I'm realistic to say that. If given the opportunity between going to speak to people in person and being able to see for myself what that building looks like and how we need to help, or doing it on the phone, I would choose to be there any day of the week.
Okay, so
Any day of the week.
let's, we will come back to you and probably invite you back sometime from September through next June. But does anyone have any questions, for
Larry?
So, I just want to ask, so their funding is through the city or?
We are funded by HPD, by DHCR, we're funded by city, state, and if I remember correctly, because thank God for our organization, I have nothing to do with money. I'm the leg guy, and I'm really good with that, and I've been good with that, like I said, for half a century. I like meeting people, I like talking to people, I love helping people who want to be helped. If you want help, and you're willing to help yourself, there is nothing that we won't do to try try to help.
Okay, so you,
If it means browbeating the landlord, if it's a landlord we know we don't usually have a problem, I call landlords on weekends, I call landlords on holidays,
Yes.
I call landlords at times when buildings didn't have hot water. I don't really care. If I have a landlord's number, I am going to call, even if I leave a message on a tape, so that landlord knows that we are aware that that building has a specific problem. That's what we do. That's
okay,
what we've always done since I got there, so half a century ago.
so the funding is from HPD, the city, state, what about the federal government?
DYCD,
What about the federal?
pick any letters you want. We're probably funded by them. We're not a rich organization. The one thing I've always managed to do is get and keep some really great people. And again, for me, the inside work, meaning that after we do a meeting, when we're getting tenants to come to the office, if there's an individual thing that we can't do over the phone, or B, helping the tenants get a program that's going to help them lower or make their rental easier, this is us.
Okay.
This is us.
So the last-
I have one more question to ask, but you never did say if it's federal funded also. So I'm gonna ask that, and then my other question is gonna be, do you also do any type of advocacy for New York City Housing Authority?
We don't do night buildings. That we can't do. We've never done it in all of my years on the organization because they're city funded. But if somebody from a building called me up, whether it be a night building, a private building, it's usually the same thing. Hi, my hearing is leaking. So let me ask you a couple of questions. Is the landlord aware? Yes, no, he's not. Have you called him? Have you sent him a certified letter, return receipt requested? Kept a copy of that letter to yourself. Have you called their office? Have you left a
Okay.
message?
Okay.
Have you documented what you have?
Understood.
To the landlord. You can prove that. Listen, there are landlords who, no matter what you say and do, are gonna do nothing. And
Okay.
if you go to court and you can't prove through documentation, written documentation, that you contacted him by having a letter that his office signed for, and you can show the court that, hey, they got this letter signed by their, a woman in the office or a guy in the office 2 months ago, and my ceiling still has a hole in it the size of Cleveland.
Understood.
So the more
Thank you.
can document, the better off you are.
Understood.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna wrap up for now, but we'll definitely contact you again and hope to bring you in or by sometime next year between September and June. But we really appreciate the time that you've given us this evening.
That's fine. I'm gonna ask you to do me one favor.
Sure.
May sound a little bizarre, but if one of you who I'm speaking to from wherever this is originating from, can call me back on this number when your meeting with everybody else is over, I would be grateful. I'll keep the phone by my ear.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
We'll do that. All right.
If you need anything else, feel free.
Will do.
If any of
Thank
the
you so
buildings
much.
that you're walking into, or any of the buildings that people know people in, where there are seniors, to me, and I started this job when I think I was 29, 28, 27. Now, like a half century later, where I've become the senior, buildings with seniors that are eligible to freeze rents, if they are eligible and they're not freezing the rent, I'm trying to think of the nicest, cleanest word I could use. I can say it in many different
Love you,
languages.
Larry.
They are crazy in the head, but on the face side, they're just nuts.
Okay.
Love you, Larry.
It's spectacular.
Okay.
If you are legally able to, and you are not doing that, you are throwing money down the toilet every single month.
Love you, Larry.
Well, thank you
Okay,
so
thank
much.
you.
We're gonna
I
move
look
on
forward-
with our
I'll
agenda.
look forward to hearing from one of you in a little bit.
Well, okay, sounds good. Thank you so much again. Have a
You
good
got it.
night.
Have a good night.
My pleasure.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, he can talk.
Thank
By the
you,
way-
everyone. Not sure if everyone was able to hear that, but in our meeting notes, we will recap what he has said. That was
Who was
Larry
that?
Johnson of the,
But
I'm sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know why I'm thinking about Larry Johnson for some strange reason. I'm thinking about Larry Johnson. Has nothing to do with tonight's game, but that was Larry Jason of Brooklyn Housing and Family, I'm so sorry, Services.
And he does so much more. I'm
Um,
sorry, he was just.
But he, I'm sure, is a wealth of knowledge, but we just had some technical
1971?
difficulties. Yeah, he is from 1971. He's been with the organization 48 years, so I'm sure he's seen it all. He's done it all, and next time we'll just structure our conversation with him as something maybe a little bit more specific. But once again, the organization is Housing and Family Services, and they're on Albemarle. I can't of Great, Housing and Family Services of Greater New York. So thank you to Larry, and we will catch up with him again. Next on the agenda, I was hoping, that we could, just a ballpark, not a ballpark, but just to look forward to the 2026-2027 agenda. And so maybe I just jotted this down, maybe we can invite him back or someone else from his organization for the September meeting. And maybe and then I'm gonna go down the months, and if anyone can help me fill in like what we would want. Cause I'm gonna just say like different things, and maybe we can I can find someone over the course of the summer who could be more specific to these things. October, have someone who talks about real estate, whether it be real estate, either getting real estate, maybe there's an organization called, my tongue. But they deal with helping people get homes without a down payment.
NHS Brooklyn.
Is it?
NACA?
Thank you.
What is
So
it?
maybe
NACA.
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 Maybe someone from NACA, not that I fill out the application, I should know, but someone from NACA, maybe in October, November, maybe we have someone who could talk about taxes. December, HPD, who's actually gonna be here tomorrow night, have someone to speak to maybe, well, this would go back to housing, but well, obviously housing, but there's an initiative for what can be done in people's basements and what kind of housing they can have in their basements, so maybe HPD then. So then that would leave us with from January through June. Are there any other just areas that we'd like to cover specific to housing?
Well, is there anyone with the city that could speak to urban planning?
Okay, so maybe someone urban planning.
Right.
I remember we spoke, there was someone who we wanted to come back in person. Remember there was someone that we wanted to come in person to give a presentation.
Do you remember what it dealt with?
Is this the woman that you had contact with? No, we didn't actually schedule the first presentation?
Yeah.
25, 26, 25,
And then we
26
wanted to make
agenda.
sure we had questions for that person
And a
before they
large
got,
group.
yeah, before they got here.
Yes, Sia Weaver. Okay, that's February, hopefully, maybe we can get her.
Is it coming here?
Well, I wouldn't
No,
say
she
to
would
come
have a
here. We
representative.
would have to,
Okay.
either representative or if what we're trying to do tonight with the Zoom,
Okay.
have someone from her organization to do that. That would be great. then that would leave us as March, April, May, and June. Anyone else that we can think about that we would possibly want, or not even a specific person, but maybe a specific, but more like a topic that we would like covered in those months, and then we could find a person, someone who to present to us.
How about maybe someone from Shinny? Because Supportive Housing Network of New York, because I realized that in a lot of our meetings, there are a lot of reservations regarding supportive housing, and I think it's because a lot of people don't know exactly how they work, their purpose, the rent, different things like that, the tenants.
Can you give me the acronym again?
SHNNY? Shinny?
So that would be March, well, not necessarily, whichever we can find to fill up these months, it may not be in this order, but just as long as we have topics that we really want covered, that would be great. So that's supportive housing.
We cover all of our topics for this year.
Yes. Earlier this year, if I could take a quick look at the website and see what our what our agendas, the previous agendas to see if we, yeah, let's look at the previous
Let's look at the
agendas.
previous, and then what we did cover, then that's what we can start with.
Good idea, thank you.
I wasn't born last time it was coming.
Damn,
I'm like,
I couldn't believe it.
that sounds awful. Cause I what?
One thing we talked about, I think what can be cool, one thing we talked about is reaching out.
Yeah, we talked about that,
No,
like
we,
how to
you know,
get
we
more
need
information.
to kind of figure out how we can.
We talked about like a
reach
newsletter
out
or,
to the community.
and then we talked about the barrier with the newsletter or social media is the elderly who might not be.
I wasn't in attendance, but
I should know all that. Yes.
and that was the meeting that they had about the homeless shelter.
Oh,
And so now we're looking at what we're dealing with right now, and where are the people, and how did the people come out from that to that meeting? From what I can see, about 200 and some people at that meeting, and then when
But
they
there were
had the,
flyers everywhere.
right,
Yeah,
So
and it was
how-
online.
that's, we need to,
Like people started posting it. People took pictures of the poster
And then.
and posted it. You know,
and then they had a QR,
Yeah.
then they
And they
had
had
a
a-
QR code.
yeah, had a
So
QR
that's
code.
something that
We talked about that, about how we would reach
That was that?
various populations within the
The last
community
meeting.
earlier this year, I believe.
Because I remember
there
we
was
talked
there was
about
one
it.
at Lefferts, and it was at another location.
But 200
There was a lot of people, like a lot of people.
And by the way, they did get the restraint of temporary, yeah, they
You know, it's
they did get that.
you know, I should, I'll say something
Okay.
about that, or at least the other.
Alright, so let's
Yeah.
finish up with maybe just what, okay, so going back to September agenda, there was the committee introductions, okay, review of the application of the Landmarks Preservation Commission, approval of the notes, Google Group for virtual resources distribution, signed confirmation of each committee and resident member. I wasn't here at that time. Planning session as well. Anti-harassment homeowner and tenant protections resolution. I don't remember, I don't think that we.
Was that one like the, was that wasn't the one with the lien sales and things of that nature, right? That wasn't it?
The lien sale wouldn't be tenant protection.
Didn't we have that on there? Or like lien sales or something like
At one point, we did have a list of,
Houses, we went dropping off flyers at the houses that had, or that appeared on the lease sale.
Yeah, you mentioned.
Some of them were either vacant, some of them didn't look like they were actually on the lease sale. They were pretty affluent, some, there were a lot of affluent houses on that lease sale that did not get sold.
so I just put guesses. There was a presentation by Just Fix.
Yeah.
Pinnacle Group Bankruptcy, Targeted Outreach and Potential Considerations. We talked about the housing survey, which, what was it, we came to the conclusion that we couldn't really do it because of funding. Was it funding or it has to go through the board? So that's something else that we should, probably earlier than any of these months, like in conjunction with something else that we should go back to, seeing the housing survey and seeing what information we already have in connection. What information we're trying to get and what information have we gotten in that time.
What is the goal for the housing survey?
I think
What, to see what do people in the community really need.
demographics, age, what size units they want.
But we wanted to hear that from the community, cause as you've seen in your committee, when we decide to come up with stuff and everyone says, well, did you ask the community? We don't wanna come up with initiatives and push certain things without asking the community.
But that's a start, that sounds really good.
But maybe if we were to have an actual, we talked about this, oh my god, it's been a long year. If we were going to have a housing,
Survey.
not just a survey, but just a housing, in-person, what's the word? In-person or on video? Town hall. Thank you. We talked about having a town hall. So maybe one of these months could be a housing town hall. Where either we bring all these other people in and they just tell us a few things, or like we have it already broken out by month where we would have people discuss it.
If you do a housing town hall, it would be really good if it's on the Zoom or the
Yes.
Teams, so then you can switch between people
Yes.
and they don't have to travel for like a 10-minute
I think the
speech.
presentations, that's been given so far, it's really good, but is it being disseminated? That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
Is it being disseminated out to the people? So I think a town hall would be wonderful, and then to get that information out to bring people in, so that they would be able to be given, some valuable resources that they need, because we're getting it, but it's kind of like right in here, get it out, to the people.
And
Cause I didn't even know anything about a rent freeze, if you're 60, did you say 62 or
That's
over?
great, yeah.
A rent freeze, I didn't know that, did y'all know that too?
Nope.
Everybody know that?
I
didn't.
Free and free.
If I did,
Do you
my
know,
parents would be on the.
how about this, do you know anyone who is getting that?
Yes,
Yeah.
because I did the
Yes.
application for them.
Cause I work for HRA.
Oh, okay, really?
So full disclosure, which
Right.
I already disclosed.
I know, that's good to know. You
And
know,
there's DREAM for disabilities.
Yes,
it's real good to know, I didn't. Okay.
so maybe you should do the
My fault, I
presentation.
was thinking about my
Oh,
mouth.
wait, would we be allowed to do that? I don't know.
I mean, I can point in the right direction.
Point us in the direction of someone who will be coming. Okay, so HRA,
Okay. And, there's no service.
But there's so many, there's so many parts of HRA. It would have to be like, do you wanna do like adult protective services? Do you want to do housing, Cause there's so think about, do you want to do a combo?
I don't even know what adult protective services mean.
Oh, it's like seniors.
Okay.
So they would be the one, like if seniors are at risk, and they would be the ones to help the senior do the SCREE application and stuff like that.
Okay, that's more like,
we don't have all the months, but we have more. Hold on, we have 1, 2, 3.
Can we touch back in September?
We can touch back in September.
And what if we did like some type of fair, like what if we set it up in here, not necessarily like a town hall, but like a senior fair or something, I do think there are a lot of seniors. Excuse me, in the community, maybe do it in the warmer months,
No, they're,
you know what I mean?
If we hooked up with the Health and Social Services Committee to do something like that.
Yeah, like,
And
you know,
see what they have going on.
right, just to disseminate information, and then we can also interject with the SWE and the DRE and, other information, because there are a lot of seniors.
I'm not saying you can't.
But maybe in the warmer months, gives us some time to put the information out there,
Last time,
Good idea.
Yeah.
That's,
last
and
time
just
it worked.
talking to the other committees and bring them in, because no matter what committee you're dealing with, everyone deals with
everything
outside.
impacts, I agree, and then since rents are going up a lot, and our seniors are on fixed income, so.
So to discuss this possibly
No,
with
but the plan is out.
health and social services.
I'm so sorry, but I have to.
Yeah,
I am.
Oh,
I'm
so
hosting.
I'm not, but I gotta go too.
So I think, so that's the committee
Right.
agendas for next
I
year.
was waiting.
Has anyone had a chance to look at the April and May
Yes, I did.
meeting notes?
Wait, what are we doing with the 141 Montgomery project?
That is just to let you know that tomorrow night in Yearbook,
It's
they
just
will be
okay.
coming.
Okay.
I don't think that there's anything for our committee to do
Okay.
per se, but if you are available to go to tomorrow's meeting or just to look in, that would be great.
Okay.
Have you all had a chance to look at the meeting notes
Oh,
for,
I didn't get that one, no.
which one did you get, April?
Yes.
I did look at it, I have to run, but I approve of those meetings.
Okay, so can we approve both meeting notes by common consent? Or do you have, okay, were there any changes? Did anyone need any changes? No, okay, common consent vote,
But I do have a question.
okay.
Why wasn't the issue with the homeless shelter that's coming to the hotel here, why was that not brought to housing, or was that not supposed to be?
Didn't they bring it, but late?
Yeah,
It
it was,
was-
yeah,
They brought it at like the last minute.
It was a last minute thing,
Yeah.
cause
Right.
that's the issue with the shelter is that the time that we got the notice, I think it was after the housing committee after we met, because we learned about it at the executive
We
committee.
did, and they were still not out of bounds because I think they have,
30 days.
yes, so they were very smart.
They were smart, it was after our meeting, and I learned about it at the executive committee.
And I attended.
it was literally like if we had the meeting today, and we
It was
have,
the next day, we
yeah.
found out about it.
I
Yeah.
attended via Zoom and they were not well prepared at all. It was embarrassing to see they were not well prepared. There were so many things they could have spoken about and they were, not good.
I don't think that it was that they weren't prepared, I think that they didn't wanna answer certain questions.
Yeah, even so, there's some things that they could have said regarding like statistics, because a lot of people were raising questions about crime
Mhm.
and the population, but they could have talked about the fact that that population are usually victims of crime. They can talk about whether crime in CB9 is more committed by unhoused or housed people. Most of the crime is by housed people. They could have done a better job, but I don't even know if that would have made a difference because people were mad.
I think the
It's
problem
the way they
with
did it.
it's
And then also
how
to
they
the
did it.
question about sex
Well, here's the
offenders
thing,
as
yes.
well.
Right, and
You're
it's,
not gonna house sex offenders there because they can't be within 1,000 feet.
But
right,
they
but it's
should
the
have,
way they
it was the way
did
that
it.
they did
Right.
it.
And then, to be honest with you, it's the guys that they do a lot. When they
Right.
pop, a hotel had no business being
Being there in the first place.
in the
yeah.
first place, and that's something that the housing committee needs to start asking questions
Right.
about, like, what are your plans after you put this building up?
Right. Because it was
Right.
a random place.
It was very random. It's actually what made me join the community board
Mm.
because I've seen it happen. Look at Utica.
Right.
Even President in Carroll Gardens,
Yeah.
like whenever just a random hotel
That
in
should be a red
the
flag.
smack dab in the middle of a community.
Yeah.
There's nothing really here. Like, okay, there's botanical
Yeah.
gardens.
But
but
now gonna go to
Yeah.
hotel.
come
from
on,
Temple
you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, come on.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
what is happening here? Why is this here? So usually what they'll do is it'll be a hotel for about a year and a half,
Yeah.
2 years,
And
and then they flip it into a shelter.
right.
The developers will then turn it into a shelter because guess what? They may not fill those hotel rooms up every night because who wants why,
Right.
right? And if to make their bottom line meet, then it's gonna have to become a kind of like a seedy hotel motel, which is disruptive to the community anyway,
Yeah.
right? And then they get more money based on
Yes,
heads.
they do. They do.
So they don't care. It actually is a long-term goal.
Right.
So then the city comes in, and I get it. The city, I guess, from their perspective, it's we have a need. Where can we fill it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I understand that's what they were trying to do. But listen, people are
Yeah,
tired of
they were
doing it at our expense.
So you just made me think about something too, to piggyback off of you. It would be good if maybe our second meeting is really to just discuss the parameters of the housing committee, go over what our goals
What our
are,
goal is, yeah,
right? So
Absolutely.
so that we could know like in term what is our purpose here? Because something I noticed from the last executive meeting or the community board meeting we went to is that there was something that was discussed at a committee meeting, and then the group on the day of the community board meeting made an amendment. They changed it, and then they got it passed by
I mean the liquor license?
yes.
Yes.
So then in my head I'm like, so what that does is that tells people, yes, I can come and make my case to the housing committee, but then I can go to the broader
And
meeting,
change
make
it.
a change and still get what I want.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
to me it sets a bad precedent. I do understand the arguments made, which was that they
Which one
did
is that? Which
they did
Liquor license.
Yeah.
Yes.
Referring to the one that was gonna go where anything is,
The liquor license.
when they changed and asked to 2 a.m.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I wanted to set one thing straight.
It's the
that's
one
pretty
that's the
important
same
to
guy
know.
that owns Two Sisters.
Yeah, and
Yeah, and
I
they also
also
used to own, I think, Flatbush Farm.
Fa-
Flatbush Farm. whatever
Yes,
that thing,
yes.
so there's
Yes.
salient points where that one
Right.
they did a community
Yeah, I want
census and that the members in the community had no problem with it, and then two that the members of the committee who made that decision don't actually live in the neighborhood, so how can they speak to how it would affect people?
Yeah.
Which I understand, but still, if the purpose of the community is to vet things and then bring it to the larger board and people get the idea that they can do that and then come and get it overturned, what is the purpose of coming
So-
to the committee?
So there's two things I want to clarify. The first
Can you
thing,
do them very quickly?
yeah, sure. The first thing is that when a liquor license is given out, they are all valid until 4 a.m.
Okay.
So if we tell a business you want you to close at 12 a.m., they can open till 4 anyway.
Ah, I didn't know that.
What that is doing is essentially trying to scare them and saying, we're gonna tell the SLA no if you disagree with our 12 a.m. or 2 a.m. Right? But once they get that license, it is valid until 4 a.m.
Okay.
That's the law.
Does that
So they could
community
change
know
their mind
that?
tomorrow and say, we're gonna open till 4 and still do it. And they'll be right.
Right.
They have that right.
What's the second point?
The second point was that, yes, the board can override anything a committee does. Because it's a recommendation, the board can change it, one of you can change it at the full board, right? That is how that works. And it's true everywhere, right? Like if a Senate committee says something, the full Senate says something different, that's how that goes. And it's, it happens to everybody, including me in transportation, where we make like a bike lane thing and the board decides that they want something different, they could do that.
So maybe the onus is on the committee on the day of to present strong arguments
Yes.
that could either sway or dissuade the broader
The
community.
idea is, if the committee spent so many hours and so much time on
They
it,
should have
you should have a
robust-
simple way to kind of get it through to the board in a way
So
that
that's
they
something I
understand.
would want us to do. This is my first year on the housing committee,
Congrats.
and I would like to know a bit more regarding what our parameters are, what our main roles are, and what our long-term goals are.
And may I add that that's where the executive meetings come in. You come to those meetings, you discuss what's going on in your committee, okay, so we can get a full understanding.
Okay, no problem.
Thank
Thank you guys so much. I have to go. I'm sorry.
I got that too.
To that point,
Yes.
you know, when you look at the community and you look at all the high rises and the luxury
Yes.
development going on,
Mhm.
which is causing people to be homeless. and you'd see nobody really going in and out any of these buildings. I mean, on Franklin Avenue alone, you know, you got 1, 2, 3,
Oh, yeah.
4
It's crazy.
new buildings.
Yeah.
These
It's
are luxury
insane.
buildings.
It
Well, the at least the appliances are, because I'm sure the material they use is not
Mm.
luxury material. But who's living in them? Look at the rents that's being paid, and now here we are talking about a homeless men's shelter coming on Empire Boulevard.
With no resources
It
here.
is really sad.
That's my, we
Yes,
have
no
no resources, right?
Yeah.
Like, we just don't.
The other issue with that,
It's
that's,
really and that's and this is
Yeah.
this is why I got on the board for all of these years,
Yeah.
but I'm still seeing the same thing happening. It's even getting worse now.
the issue with that is the zoning, because it's large scale commercial, so you can only build factories, hotels, or storages, or like large hardware stores there. So to some, the only other option would have been another storage, but there's competition, so they wouldn't build that. There's the AWS, the big hardware store there. You wouldn't want to put another one there. So the owner's probably thinking, I'll build a hotel. If it doesn't make enough money in the first year, I'll
turn
convert
it
it
into
into
a
a shelter, right? But if we say anything to that, then they're not gonna have much response apart from, what do you want me to build? It's a commercial too, which means
They could have built a bowling alley, a
Right.
skating rink,
Right.
we need that
There's,
kind of
and listen,
entertainment.
and there's a lot of families and a lot of
Yes.
young people, they will get the
Yes.
business.
That's right.
They will. The skating rink in Queens is gross.
That's
And look at Xanadu. No, honestly, look at
No, it's-
Xanadu in Williamsburg, or Walt
Yeah.
Bushway, you know. It's
Absolutely.
always packed.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So there's other
there's
things
Brooklyn
that they
Bowl and
could,
those things too.
right, but Brooklyn Bowl, they can have it.
Sure.
And you know why.
Yeah.
It's the most uncomfortable place to me.
Yeah.
I'll go to Sheepshead, babe.
Is that everyone does not have to come to the community board to even tell us that they're in the neighborhood
Yes.
to develop anything.
Right.
We should know what's going on in the community and what developer comes into the community to do anything. Because perhaps maybe if we had known that there was a hotel coming, I mean, all of us, we live in this neighborhood, what is a hotel doing?
What is a hotel?
At one point,
yeah.
they were gonna do the hotel on Bedford and
Eastern
Eastern Parkway, but they ran into some issues with finance, so I mean, you know, it's really, from what I'm understanding, it's a done deal. The hotel will operate as, perhaps maybe
No,
what's
it's
gonna
on
happen.
pause.
Yeah, it's very
No,
still
it's
rough.
It's on, well, it's on pause.
It's no,
you know, but what I'm
it's on
saying
pause for now, and I
for
think
now,
yeah,
that's,
for now.
that's,
Well, I think
that's-
I don't think there'll be the.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be able to go through. I think they may have to find another location. To be honest with you.
what's probably gonna happen
Yeah.
is the security part of it, because I think that's what the community wants to see. And so I don't know if they're looking for a scanner or whatever, I'm not sure. I don't think it's just that they can't come into the neighborhood because I have property and my property is valued at such and such and such and such. I don't think that's the reason, because that's not gonna be a good enough reason.
It's the resources.
And we don't have
What are
that
they
kind
doing
of
throughout
money
the day?
in this community.
What are they doing throughout the day?
And you're absolutely right.
You know, that's like
You're
what
absolutely
are they like? That's my thing. What are they doing throughout? Like, everyone needs
Deserves
a
a
place
home.
to
That's-
stay.
Yeah.
I am not disputing. I am not arguing any of that. All I'm saying is that if you're going to build this, if you're going to build a facility for people who are at risk, you actually have to give them the resources. This neighborhood is already like bursting at the seams. There's no grocery stores. The grocery stores are expensive. Like, let's think about this. You know what I mean? Like, on a day-to-day, like real day-to-day level, the food around here is expensive now. Like, it is expensive to live over here. It's not. You know, so now you're going
That's
to
the
put.
merchants.
Listen, but hear me out. So now you're putting people who are on public assistance, who have mental health issues, in. It's like a fire keg or something. Like, it's just not going to work.
But who else lives in a homeless shelter? I mean, when you
Oh my
really think
goodness, you're
about
not listening to me. They need to provide people with the services
Yes.
to live. You cannot just dump people in a building.
it.
Housing is not just it.
That-
Yes, they're going to terrorize the neighborhood just like anyone will if they don't have anything to do.
Jobs,
But
yes.
at the same time,
But
you know
yes,
what,
they
you
have
can't
to-
take, you just can't take a homeless person off the street and say, here's an apartment.
But this is not what's
That's, so what they're gonna do is, they are gonna provide the services, they are gonna provide.
during
the
what
services.
time?
Well, that's what needs to happen,
I'm just messing with
is
you.
you need to find out what is the time frame. Now, in some
I
shelters,
have been
it's
all
a
day.
1 year,
No,
because
no,
they,
what
because they
time?
have to.
No, is it going to be 24-hour services?
Yes, but
No,
I
no,
also
I'm
like
saying for the individual.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
team
before we
service.
go, these are,
we're
these
going
are
to adjourn
working
the
sorry,
meeting
men,
8:35 p.m.
these are
I also
working men.
have a.
Do I have a second or
Need a
first?
second.
Second,
Okay,
third.
because for, as you said, right, as you said, we are adjourned, you have, thank you, you have work, right, you have a job.
Thank you.
But,
You're welcome.
two or